Here are the buy, hold, or sell currency recommendations for March 2025. These recommendations are based on the latest Forex market data trends and are subject to change without notice. Iraqi Dinar, IQD. Hold. The Iraqi dinar has long been speculated as a potential revaluation opportunity. Iraq is making significant strides to kickstart the Iraqi economy into an international trade hub. Iraq's economy is heavily reliant on oil, and while the government has taken steps toward financial reform, challenges such as political instability, corruption, and dependence on U.S. monetary oversight remain. The IQD is not freely traded on global Forex markets, making liquidity an issue. If you already hold IQD, it may be best to hold for potential gradual appreciation, but speculative buying is risky due to uncertain long-term gains. Vietnamese Dong, VND. Hold. The Vietnamese Dong remains a stable currency, backed by Vietnam's growing economy, strong manufacturing sector, and increasing foreign investment. However, it's still a controlled currency with limited international convertibility. Unless there's a major policy shift or significant inflation concerns, holding VND in Vietnam may be reasonable, but speculative investment isn't advisable due to its slow appreciation. Argentine Peso, ARS. Sell. The Argentine peso continues to struggle with hyperinflation, political instability, and strict capital controls. The government frequently devalues the currency, making it a risky long-term hold. If you have ARS, it's best to convert it into a more stable currency or hard assets to preserve value. Turkish Lira. Try. Sell. The Turkish Lira has been highly volatile due to persistent inflation, political uncertainty, and unorthodox monetary policies. Despite recent interest rate hikes aimed at stabilizing the currency, the TRY remains vulnerable to further depreciation. If you hold Lira, it may be wise to convert to a more stable currency to mitigate risks. Gold. Buy. Gold remains a strong hedge against inflation, currency devaluation, and economic uncertainty. With global economic instability and central banks increasing their gold reserves, demand is likely to stay strong. It's a solid long-term asset for wealth preservation, making it a good buy, especially during market downturns or high inflation periods. Colombian Peso, COP. Hold. The Colombian peso has shown resilience due to stable economic growth, strong exports, especially in oil and coffee, and prudent fiscal policies. However, it remains vulnerable to fluctuations in commodity prices and global market conditions. Holding COP can be reasonable if you have exposure to Colombia's economy, but it's not necessarily a strong buy for speculative investors. Brazilian Real, BRL. Hold or buy. The Brazilian real has experienced volatility due to political uncertainty and inflation concerns, but Brazil's economy remains strong, supported by robust agricultural and commodity exports. With interest rates relatively high, BRL could attract foreign investment, making it a potential buy for those seeking emerging market exposure. However, cautious monitoring of political and economic developments is advised.